Hey everybody, this is Z with the Psychedelic Circus here, and I am so excited to have in my studio Johannes Schleiwies, the lead singer and mastermind of Big Boy out of Germany. Thank you so much, Johannes, for being here. I'm so excited to have you today here on the Psychedelic Circus. So tell me, how did your band really get started?
Yeah, well, we started out in, I think it was 2005 we formed the band, but actually it took us 2 years to release our first record.
Sure, you're located in Germany, and so it's got to be a different scene there. How is it different from Los Angeles as far as, you know, how the people experience the music and the difficulty of getting a big name label, you know, in Germany to really back your band?
I think in a way it's maybe easier even than in Los Angeles because Germany is a smaller country and there's maybe not that much competition and a different like appreciation for music. So to start touring, start playing, like find your audience, that's maybe easier. And it's also promoters used to pay you money and treat you nice.
You get the celebrity treatment a little bit easier then.
No, not really celebrity treatment. That's normal, you know. There's like pay to play we don't have. It doesn't get as huge as it can get in the US or in Hollywood either, you know. So
what would you say your influences or how to explain what your sound is really like?
A lot of people say Marilyn Manson. I like Manson, but honestly, to me, I would say maybe Queen and Turbo Negro has been main influences.
Oh, interesting. So how do you think that differs from German bands?
I don't know. I guess the only German band that really made it huge ever is Rammstein and Tokyo Hotel.
I do know Rammstein. So, okay.
We're right in between Tokyo Hotel and Rammstein.
There you go. You're in between the two. So that's always good. Always good to find a middle ground. You know, we've kind of had a little bit in the States, but I would say, do you have a really good crowd in Germany as far as the sound goes or that you've seen in the past?
Well, we have this gothic scene and they are actually like very faithful people and they love to go to shows, you know, bunch of 18 years old depressed girls.
Wonderful. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Okay, well, let me stop you right there because we're going to take a short break. We're talking to Johannes, the Big Boy in Germany, and we'll be back here on the Psychedelic Circus on Era FM Music. This is the Psychedelic Circus. I'm your host, Z, here on Era FM Music, and we are currently talking to Johannes, the Big Boy lead singer and mastermind of his own band here in Germany, and I'm so excited to talk to you, Johannes, because you had some serious success with your album, Hail to the Big Boy, that got you all the way into LA, which, for a German band, that's kind of unheard of. And what did you really think about your experiences with the success of Hail the Big Boy?
Yeah, you just said it. Like, it actually took us to LA. That, I would say, was the greatest success of the whole album. We got the opportunity to come there and play there and live there for a while.
Now, you got offered a reality TV show, is that right?
Yeah, we got offered it. We actually got filmed too. Like, they just never really finished the trailer, so they never shopped it or offered it to anybody, I guess.
That's always weird about LA, is like, you know, so many ideas and then they just end up on the cutting room floor. But what was the premise of the show?
I don't know really. Like, we were basically partying our asses off for a month and they followed us with 2 cameras everywhere, and it's just the best entrance ticket anywhere in Hollywood, you know.
That's great. So, I mean, you know, you're a pretty wild man, or at least you had a wild streak in LA. Did you pretty much party through the entire experience in LA?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, did you have any wild experiences that just topped the charts that you have to tell us about?
What's funny is we stayed in a shop window. We were living in a shop window, and no, really, it's a hotel in downtown, and apparently, like, the shop next to them was empty, and they decided to build a hotel room into the shop so that people who walk by see how the hotel rooms look.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And they offered us to live there for as long as we want to for free, as long as we don't mind that people walk by, you know.
People walk by and checked you out.
Yeah.
Where in downtown is this? So this is downtown LA, and I'm pretty familiar with downtown LA.
That was on Main Street.
Oh, really? Okay. I gotta ask somebody about this, or I have to go back and look at it. But you lived in a shop window.
We did, yeah. For 4 months I lived there. And it was actually pretty funny because before we moved in there, they had like a bunch of models living there, and I guess they paid them to stay there. One morning, or I should say afternoon, we're like all like completely hungover and looked like shit, like with the hair sticking all kinds of direction and empty beer cans and shit. And then this couple walks by. Oh, and the thing is, like, we didn't only like see people or people saw us, like there was this gap, you know, because it was basically 2 glass doors, you know, so there was like this little gap and we heard what people said.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you could hear everything too.
Yeah. So this couple walks by and the guy's like, look, baby, it's like models living there, you know, it's like this promotion thing. And the girl looked at us, you know, like for a minute and she said like, but why are they so ugly?
You're like, yeah, we've been partying all night. Actually, models are not very pretty when they're not dressed up. So, you fit in perfectly with the model MO. They really are. They're very plain looking. They're generally really like disheveled and kind of, smoking their cigarette and all angry looking. That's generally what a professional model looks like without makeup and a hairdresser.
All right. So maybe we have like a second career coming up.
Yeah, there you go. It's perfect for you. So you've had some pretty wild adventures in LA. Now, tell me about Germany. For those of listeners out there that are kind of not informed as what it's really like in the music scene and how really think that the sound that you're making really fits in with the German scene.
Yeah, we get this a lot. Like people think we're really German, and like sometimes we don't know what they mean by that. I don't know. I guess Germans are they take everything very seriously, and that has good sides. Like they're very, punctual, reliable, things like this. I guess.
Oh, things that are not, found in LA at all.
Exactly. We're good at making things, like anything.
Like with your
engineering,
hands engineering. That's cool.
But maybe we're not the most, entertaining, easygoing people. So I don't really think there is.
I don't know. I met some pretty entertaining Germans in my day.
Okay. Well, I don't like. Yeah, maybe you think that's entertaining because it's so not. The music scene, I guess, a lot of things going on in Berlin in the last couple of years, and the rest, especially like where I'm from, Munich, it's actually pretty boring. It's famous for beer and Oktoberfest and Lederhosen.
Yeah,
BMW.
Oktoberfest. I'm in.
Oh, you've been there.
No, I haven't been to Oktoberfest in Germany, but would love to go. So, okay, so even though you say there's not really a music scene, but what are the people listening to as far as maybe American-style music that influences them?
I think they actually listen to a lot of American music or British music. The charts are not very different from your charts.
So you would say more pop or rock or like, trip hop, or what's really the sound that you hear most on your radio stations?
Really, what you hear is like Black Eyed Peas and stuff like that.
I'm in Finland right now, and their radio station is very similar to American music, but they do try to bring back things that I haven't heard in a while, which is always interesting. But it's mostly a pop-orientated, sound that I'm hearing from a lot of people. All right, well, we're going to take a short break. We're talking to Johannes Schleiwies from Big Boy in Germany, and you're listening to the Psychedelic Circus here on Error FM Music, and we'll be back in a little bit.